And hot take, probably kind of hot take. I think like friend groups are like a little overrated. Hi cuties! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Ella, if you don't know. And welcome to the new setup. We are in my dorm. The lighting is gonna be bad, audio might be bad, but it was never good at home either. So it's fine. Anyways, I've been loving it here. It's been super fun. I've only had like 2 days of classes so far, but yeah. Also, if y'all can like see my laptop, this is another video that I like made a list of stuff for. So I'm gonna be reading off of that. And on that note, I should tell you what the video is about. And so that is my top 10 like tips / things I learned during orientation. As someone who came into college and orientation with a lot of expectations, and kind of some of them were met and some of them were very much not. Now, a little disclaimer for anyone watching this thinking like, oh, next year this is going to apply to my orientation at college, like if you're a senior or whatever. It very much might not. Smith and I think a lot of other small liberal arts schools do orientation like right at move-in as opposed to just like a weekend in the summer, and they'd like draw it out for like a week. Like mine was like 6 days. It was basically like summer camp and it was super long. I think a lot of small schools are like that, but I don't really know. So if yours isn't like that, I'm like, sorry, this doesn't apply. You'll be entertained anyway. That being said, let's get into my tips / reflections. Number 10. Oh yeah, I ranked these like 10 as like the like least important and like 1 being the most, by the way, so it's gonna be like 10 to 1. And for 10, we have that older students are not as scary as they seem. Now, like, I get it. It's hella terrifying to be like completely new on campus. You don't know anybody. You don't know anything. And then there's like people there and they're like literally have been there before for a whole year and they know stuff, and it's crazy. Especially like your orientation leaders and stuff. They're so intimidating because they know so much. And it's like, yes, they do in fact know so much, but that's because they're there to teach all that stuff to you and to help you. They're there to guide new students, so they very much will in fact be like guiding you as new students. So whatever questions and stuff you have, ask them, because that's literally what they're there for. Y'all, I'm sick. First year flu is no fucking joke. It's also like why I fucking look like this. Moving on. Orientation leaders and other older students, if they're there to help with orientation, they are in fact there to help you. And if they're not, they're probably going to be chill anyway. And then beyond that, they're just people. Like, they're going to be in some of your classes, which also seems scary, but I promise it's not. Because if you are like qualified to be in that class in like the literal sense of like you've met the prereqs or whatever, then you are in that class and you deserve it like they do. And outside of that, they're also just going to be like people doing homework and clubs and watching TV and going out with friends. One of my orientation leaders is like 2 or 3 years older than me, and we both have watched Parks and Rec, and we just like talked about Parks and Rec for like 15 minutes one day, and it was like super fun. And that's the thing, it's like they're in your general age group or in your generation, and they're probably gonna have something in common with you. So yeah, it's hard not to be scared, and I don't want to say like just don't be scared like it's easy, but like really don't be scared. Like they're really chill. Okay, next thing. This is painful for me to ever say, but orientation is not fashion week. And you know I love overdressing. I love my fits. However, orientation, some of the activities are going to either be a lot of sitting or a lot of like active things. Like there was one day that I was just like sitting in lectures all day, and one day that I had to take a walk in the woods. Both of those, you want to be comfy. Now that's not to say you can't make out your good outfits. I am all for overdressing or appropriately dressing. Honestly, because I don't think I overdress. Some people think I overdress. Anyways. Just be prepared to like be a little active or to be sitting for several hours and maybe wanting to be more comfy. And base your outfits around like what you're doing that day, and don't be like me and end up in your docks with non-dock socks when you're walking in the woods. Number 8 is that it is okay to invite yourself to things and like not sad. And it's super scary to like just join something, but the thing is, people at orientation are looking to make friends. So if you meet someone and you hit it off, and then they're like, hey, we're going to dinner, ask like, oh, can I go, like I was thinking of that dining hall too, can I sit with y'all? Or like something like that. And like if they're like going to their dorm or something that like might be more private, and like obviously read the room, but in general it's just worth asking, because they're probably gonna say yes, like because they're also new there. and looking to make friends. And from what I've seen, people who like already have like set friend groups and don't want to meet new people, that's very obvious. It's like, yeah, for sure, if you're getting that vibe, you're like, this isn't worth it, don't do that. But if it's like you're unsure or like they seem nice but you just don't want to ask because you're scared, just ask, because they'll probably say yes. And then you'll find out if you're like good friends or not, and then you'll either make a friend and it's great, or you just don't and you find someone else. Either way, it's fun. And then the reverse of my last point is that you should invite people to whatever you're doing. Okay, not whatever, but like 2 things. So like ask your roommate if they want to join your late night snack run, or invite the friends of your friends to watch movies with you, or just like try to meet people, and as many people as you feel comfortable with, as often, again, as you're comfortable with, but like as often as you can. Because again, orientation, it's all new people. Everyone wants to be invited to something, and it's like super fun. And again, scary. I hate when people say no. I hate the idea that someone wouldn't want to hang out with me. But if they say no, it's probably not about you. It's probably just that like their social battery's low, because it is kind of a lot, which we will get to in a second. But yeah, it's like fun to get to know people. The other night, I had like a movie night, and like a bunch of people I didn't even like really know ended up coming, because like friends told friends, and like a whole thing. And I met a bunch of people, and now I'm like, just say hi to them in the halls and stuff. Not the halls, this isn't high school. I say hi to them around campus and stuff. And it's like really fun. And yeah. Point number 6 is that you should be taking advantage of your resources. And this is something you will hear constantly from your advisors and professors and the deans and older students and but it's like I literally can't overstate how important it is. There's a lot of resources at college that you probably don't actually think of. So go to the resource fairs, scan the QR codes, and like actually read through those tabs. Take the flyers and don't just recycle them as soon as you're out of someone's eyesight. Put the campus safety numbers and the centers and all that in your phones, all that stuff. For a little anecdote, at Smith Liberal Arts College, my probably biggest fear overall being at Smith is that it's a liberal arts college. I'm not going to have a lot of like communications opportunities. That's always been my biggest fear, because like I'm leaving the city, I'm not, I don't have like that direct point of access that I'd get from a school like Boston University or something like that. That's like my biggest fear career-wise, is like, is this gonna be bad for my career? I went to this like, it was like a job fair, I think it was called like a resource fair that they were having for new students, and I like talked to the career center. And they're like, oh yeah, we have like a whole communication specialist you should talk to. She'll hook you up with like everything. So I went and talked to her. Or I haven't talked to her yet, but I've scheduled that meeting, and now I know there's like a whole like communications department that specializes in getting people careers in communications, which is like my intention, obviously, at Smith, that I never would have known about if I hadn't gone to that. And I would have been like struggling completely on my own if I hadn't known about that. So there are truly just like a bunch of good resources. I also, at like another fair, they had like a meeting with like all the different departments, and I learned about the American Studies department, which I didn't even know that was like a thing I could take. And now I'm in American Studies, like the intro class, and it's super interesting, and they let me see Superman for free, like at the theater. So it's like, it's super cool. And you're gonna discover something. You don't know everything about your college, no matter what you think. And it's good to discover things. It's gonna be helpful at some point, just trust me, guys. Also, you are paying so much to be here, or be wherever. Do not let any of that money go to waste. Okay, anyways, next is to know your limits. Because while I think it is definitely important to take advantage of the resources at your school, that does not necessarily mean going to or participating in every single orientation activity. If you are making friends, or you have like enough socialization for the day, you don't have to go to that one craft night, or that one lawn games session, or whatever. It is a lot. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of moving, it's a lot of listening and learning and taking in new information. There's this like, it's very overwhelming, I would say. Orientation as an entity, very overwhelming. So if you need to go take a nap in your dorm, do it. If you need to just chill with your friend, do it. I definitely think you should push yourself to meet new people and try new things. But there is such a thing as a low social battery, needing to recharge, and you 110% deserve to take advantage of that. Number 4, this is such a big one. Eat and hydrate. So as I said, it's intense. It can be physically intense, and if you're going to like a lot of events, it can be like genuinely like a lot for your body. Like, I think my first week here, I only got like 6 hours of sleep every night, because I was like hanging out with my friends every night, and then I had stuff to do in the mornings, and it was just like I was not adjusted to it yet. I was walking around a ton, trying to find everything on campus. I legit, like, trigger warning, not really. I, like, accidentally put myself in a calorie deficit, because I'm not used to, like, moving as much as I do walking around campus, and I, like, wasn't eating, like, enough in response to that. And I like genuinely felt like shit like the first couple days here because of that. And I like figured it out and I'm like fine now. But yeah, it's really important to eat, hydrate. It's super important. And like, yeah, just do that. And if you're going to parties, especially, don't drink on an empty stomach and don't drink dehydrated, and same for like other substances. I mean, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I totally wouldn't know. But like, you know, that's what I've heard. Also, my recovery girlies, no one cares what you eat or when you eat or how you eat or anything. The like second night here, I think I was literally crashing out because I was like so scared to like eat like enough. I felt like I had to have the smallest plate of like anyone I was sitting with at the dining hall. And I was talking to my friend about it and she was like, Ella, no one fucking cares. And that's so true. No one is paying attention to what you eat, and if they are, then they're like literally wasting your life, because that's like the least interesting thing ever is like what someone else is eating, and then don't be around them. Like, literally, if someone, like, is judging you for what you eat, weird. Weird. If you're hungry, if you're craving something, eat it. If you don't feel full, get seconds. Get the portions you want. Like, yes, be mindful that it is shared food, but at the end of the day, again, you're paying to eat here. Eat what your body needs. It's the school's job to feed all of its students. It's not yours. And then, like, if you do like genuinely encounter people like making like big back jokes or like judging you for what you eat and like pointing that out or anything, which I very fortunately have not, but if you do encounter that, one, like literally just cut them out of your life, or like talk to them if like that's like an important thing to you. But literally, if you're in college, like fat shaming, I'm not even fat shaming. If you're in college, like commenting on what people eat, you're weird. Like what the fuck? Like I don't know what else to say. You're weird. And yeah. Also, for my like recovery ladies ish, I don't even know. But college is a really good time to like try new foods. If you have a good dining, okay, here's the thing. Everyone like shits on Smith Dining. I genuinely think it's like not that bad. And we always have like multiple options. We always have like a salad bar. It's always like fruit, stuff like that. But there's always been like a lot of options for like not supplementing, but, like getting new aspects of your diet and trying new foods and all that stuff. Like for me, this like might also be eating disorder trigger warning, I really don't know. But for me, a big like thing or reason that I can't like or that I can't but that I've struggled to eat in front of people is that like I really don't think I eat like healthy enough. And I don't even know like that much about nutrition. That's just always been in my head, is that like I don't eat healthy enough. Even if I'm eating like the exact same thing as like someone else, I'm just like, oh, I'm so unhealthy. You know what I mean? But the thing is, and I've talked about this with my dietitian, so like take it with a grain of salt because it is coming from me, but I have talked about this with someone who actually knows what's up, is that the biggest thing for health is like variety and like making sure you hit like multiple different like boxes of like nutrients, like getting protein, getting fiber, getting carbs, getting fats, which you do need carbs and fats, getting sugars of some form. Yes, all that different type of stuff. Having like a good variety of that, that's really important, and dining halls are like good with that because they have a lot of options. So like definitely try the new things. I've tried like vegetable dishes here that I would have never even had access to at home, and I'm like, oh, I don't actually hate all vegetables. I'm not unhealthy. I just don't like what was offered to me sometimes at like a more limiting environment. And if it's like something you don't like, you don't have to eat it. But I was going to say like try new things and then try to have like a diverse palate. I don't want to tell y'all what to eat. To be very clear, eat whatever you want. But I'm just bringing this up as like, if you are eating like a lot of new things, like a pretty like diverse or like mixed range of things, you're probably eating healthier than like you think you are. If you're eating like ice cream every night and you have other things with that, that's fine. As long as you don't like feel physically uncomfortable after you eat and stuff like that, and you are getting like other forms, like if you eat ice cream 24/7, maybe that's not great, but you also wouldn't like enjoy ice cream as much. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. I don't want to be giving like nutrition advice. But just, I promise you are eating how you need to. Or, like, maybe you're not. I don't know you. But there's a better chance that you are than I think a lot of people think. There's, like, a lot about, like, recovery and dining halls and all that shit. So, comment below, genuinely, if you want me to talk more about, like, eating disorder recovery stuff, like, on this channel generally, and then also in relation to college, I'd be really down to. But, TLDR, please eat what your body is telling you it needs, and also drink water. I don't care if you drink like a gallon of Dr. Pepper and a gallon of water, but just get the water in there as well. Anyways, number 3 is that wherever you're at is okay. Most icebreakers or like social thingies that I've been in at orientation, like what's your major or what do you want to major in, comes up at some point. And there's a range of answers you can give. There's me, who has my fucking double major and my concentration and the licensing I want to get before I graduate all picked out, and we'll share that with anyone because I'm defensive and neurotic and need to prove that I am in fact employable. And then there's people that are undecided, and those are both valid, and also everything in that range is completely valid, especially at a liberal arts school. They really do want you to explore and try new things, so like do it. Even if you are someone like me who like thinks you know what you want, still try a new thing every once in a while. Like I mentioned, American studies, that's, well, it is like indirectly I guess related to like my majors, but like I'm not gonna be like an American studies person, I don't think, but I'm like taking the class because it's interesting. And yeah, stuff like that. There's always gonna be room to explore things, especially in college, and you are in fact in college to learn, and a big part of that is like learning about yourself, learning what you like. And I mean, especially at a liberal arts school, if you're not like in a certain like degree path right away, that's for a reason, and that's because they want you to explore things, and that's because you're not expected to know everything right away, so don't feel like you have to. Point number 2 is that you should be open to new people. This is going to be very similar to like the next point as well, but like don't judge a book by its cover or even by like the first chapter. I would say if someone asks you to hang out and you're like, you know, energized and socially down, like go for it. And like maybe you won't click, but maybe you will. I've said so many times that like orientation is definitely a time for making friends and meeting people, and it's like figuring out vibes and everything. And yeah, I like to think of friendships as like a form of networking, and not in the sense of like, oh well, if I meet this person and they might have like a rich dad, then that can like get me like a business internship, that type of thing. I don't really think of it as that. I more so like to think just in the sense of like it's always good to know someone wherever you go. So like maybe you hang out with someone once and you don't really click like a ton, but it's like mutually like no hard feelings, and then they end up in one of your classes, and now you have someone to text like, hey, did you understand this assignment? Or like maybe you're just like at lunch one day and you have someone to sit across from, and you can like both work silently, but like, you know, you have like that shared people being there vibe. Everyone has something to offer everyone else, and I think it's important to find out what that is by spending time with people. I have to sneeze, maybe. I don't. I hate that when like you think you have to sneeze and then like the sneeze just doesn't happen. Anyways, moving on to my last point, which is it is okay to not have your friend group. It is the first week of college. You don't have to have that figured out. You don't have to have anything figured out, but especially that. You're meeting people for the first time. You can have lunch and dinner and breakfast with a different person every single day. That is totally fine. Yeah, the first few days you are meeting people. You will not have a friend group right away. I mean, you can. You might meet someone on, like on Instagram and click and whatever. I did that. Shout out Kira. Shout out Amelia. Shout out Lucy. Lucy! Oh my god. Guys, Lucy, I need to like hang out with Lucy more. I've only seen her like twice. No. I don't know. Not enough since getting on campus. It makes me sad. Anyways, so yeah, you might have people that you click, but that might not be your friend group. Like, I would say, for me personally, I have like a separate friend group and then like individual friends that are like, there's some overlap, but it's like not the same. And there's also like, I'm not done making friends. I want to meet people in my classes and clubs and all that stuff that I'll also hang out with. And hot take, probably kind of hot take, I think like friend groups are like a little overrated. Like, I think as long as you have people who like you like and that you are friends with, it doesn't really matter how connected they are to each other. Like, obviously it's nice when your friends get along. I actually am like a very functional friend group for the first time in like forever right now, and it's really nice. But I'd say, at least for orientation, your priority should definitely be just like meeting people, seeing who you click with, and then what other like sub relationships that leads to are maybe great and maybe not. Everyone says like your first year friend group is not going to be your friend group. I obviously can't say if that's true or not, but I will say your first year friend group does not have to be your like permanent friend group, and your first year friend group does not have to be definite. So like, don't rush anything. I will even say, personally, since getting to school, I've had a really bad experience with like FOMO, and just like I'll be with like one like set of friends and I'm gonna be like, oh, what is like this person doing right now, or like also like people are going like, oh well, like I know them, why am I not with them, even like if I'm with someone else, and it's like that sort of thing. And like I do sometimes genuinely wish, like, I don't know, every single person I've ever like liked hanging out with on campus was just like all we were all with each other like 24/7, but that's like not how the world works, one. And then I will also say it is such a privilege to have FOMO. I was like talking about this with my friends the other night, and it's like the thought that I could be hanging out with people and that they would want me there, and like feeling like bad that I'm not in a space where I'm wanted, is such a privilege. Because I've never really experienced like FOMO like this before, because I've never really felt before like I'm actually missing something with being with people. But now it's like I've had experiences being with people that I really, really value, and I'm really grateful for. And yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but college friends are beautiful, but also that can take time, and your friend groups can change, your individual friendships can change, it all can change, and it doesn't have to be like some big super like tight-knit borderline codependent friend group that you might like to see or like want to be part of. I'm gonna quote Ginny and Georgia, which is something I never thought I'd say in a positive context, but you can in fact do anything in life if you have one good friend. I have like 4 good friends here, 5, I can't even count, too many to count, and I am so blessed, and I'm still so excited to meet new people and make new friends and all of that. However your social life develops is okay. You will be okay. You are not the only person new at college feeling homesick or lonely or sad or scared or obnoxiously excited or like me, like, or anything. Like, you're not alone, and there's like someone out there, and probably lots of someone's out there on your campus for you to click with, and you just have to meet them. But don't get discouraged if that doesn't happen in the first week. And yeah, that is all my like little tips or reflections on orientation. I am having so much fun here. I'm probably gonna start doing like a couple more vlogs. Like, I might like a day in my life, like class version, they might like a weekend thing, and then I also kind of want to walk through like what classes have been like. Just like there's a lot of stuff. It's really fun here. I'm thriving, despite the fact that I've like forgotten how to talk. So if you want to see any of those, make sure to subscribe. If you liked this video, leave a like. Comment below, one, if when he was talking about recovery, I genuinely am interested in that. And then also, what was your college orientation like? If you're also like a first year, how is that going? Whatever you want. I just want to talk to y'all. If you want to see more of me and my face, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both are Ella Bella Inc. We just had our school's convocation, and I made like a little post for it on Instagram, and I thought it was so cute. You should definitely go check that out. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. It truly means the world you've listened to me talk for any amount of time, but especially as long as this was. And yeah, I will see you next week. But until then, bye cuties! Now you're the